Welcome back to the C3PO show. I'm your co-host, Corey Sullivan.
I'm Austin Lersten.
As you've been paying attention, we are doing Seahawk draft prospects for this 2017 draft and moving on to the linebackers. Starting off with Reuben Foster. Initially, I would say that we were out of the running for Reuben Foster, but with some reports of a failed drug test and a fight with some medical staff at the Combine, it looks like Reuben Foster's stock may be falling. Very negative for him, but great for the Seahawks. Would love to have a talent such as Reuben Foster fall late into the first round. We've seen plenty of players with amazing talent fall into the second or third round based on character issues. And so basically just hope that the Seahawks take a chance on Reuben Foster if he does end up falling to the end of the first round, which very highly unlikely, as I said before. But it's something to look forward to from the Alabama product. Is he's got a high motor speed and big hits. Everyone loves the big hits. It's been a fan favorite. His first step quickness to just light whoever's in the backfield up. It's been Reuben Foster's forte in his tenure at Alabama. And what do you think that you see from Reuben Foster that you like?
Yeah, I think Reuben Foster's just a prototypical perfect linebacker, someone who's going to put a big hit on you, always around the field, always around the ball, always making big plays at the right time. If you go back and watch some of his games, you'll notice it's always when the team needs him, he stands up. He's the guy who really makes that big play for Bama, which is just, full of talent. Lots of talent on the Alabama defense all over the field. But he was the guy who was making the big plays most of the time on the field, and someone who can help the Seahawks. I think a perfect fit. We like guys who can set the tone with speed or with size or with physicality, and I think he definitely physicality is where he'll fit right in with the Seahawks and just running people over and making big hits and big plays. And at the outside linebacker position, it's needed to be filled, and I think he also has the ability to do a little bit of pass rush as well. So just an overall great fit for the Seahawks if he can drop that low.
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to play with Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright and to play with some younger vets that are still doing it in the game and to come into your own while you still can provide, a little spark of your own would be a great fit for Reuben Foster if he falls to us anyway.
Yeah, and another great outside linebacker coming out of the draft, maybe a little bit later that the Seahawks could pick this guy up is Alex Anzalone.
Thor.
We'll just call him Thor. A little bit easier to say, but AA batteries. We can go with that one too. But this guy, he's all over the field as well. A very guy who can a little bit of pass rush, fast, plays well in coverage. His number one issue is injuries, and the Seahawks sometimes like to take risks on guys who have been injured in the past. And hopefully, when they get here, he'll get it figured out. This last year, he had a great year. Played very well, wasn't injured during the year, but only a total of 18 games in his whole collegiate career. So, definitely injury prone, but it's a tough first-round talent, I think, if you weren't to have so many injuries.
Yeah, absolutely. Teams and GMs love this guy, love his athleticism. Tested very highly in all the speed categories, especially for a linebacker. Definitely what the Seahawks are looking for, somebody that's very good in coverage, not the greatest. But, somebody that has speed, the only thing, like you said, is his durability. Only 18 games in your college career. That's, not even 2 full seasons. So definitely something to keep an eye on. It'll definitely hurt his stock. And I think, like you said, he's a first-round talent. But if we could pick him up for a discount later on in the draft, you think a lot of teams miss on draft picks. It's rare that you get 1 through 7 as a stud. So I'd definitely be willing to take a risk on him as, like a 4 through 7. Maybe 5 through 7, and if he pans out, that's great. But I'd love for him to have that chip on his shoulder and that edge. So when it comes time to play, it's we have Alex Anzalone. We're barely paying him because we took that risk. So yeah, I think that's a good pick. Another one that I like is Duke Riley out of Louisiana State University, a guy that's still learning the position. That's still I don't want to say he has issues with his instincts, but just something that a lot of scouts said that they would like to see it quicker, him to dissect a play quicker, things like that. But another guy with great speed, good instincts. Definitely don't want to, act like he's just a dumb football player. He's very good. Obviously, that's why we're talking about him. But they would just like to see, just a little bit dissecting the plays for the run and whatnot. So yeah, I think another guy that we could pick up middle of the table, not too high of a pick on him, and we'll be able to produce for the Seahawks early.
Yeah, I like Duke Riley. I just think there may be some better options in the draft this year. But definitely a project, someone who could come in and I don't think you'd even start in his first year. We need someone else to fill out that outside linebacker. But he's definitely a good player at LSU and made some big plays. And but a guy that I really like who going to the inside is Ben Boulware. Now, this is a late-round draft pick, and sometimes late-round draft picks for the Seahawks turn into star players, as has been well notated throughout John Schneider's history here with the Seahawks. And Ben Boulware is a winner, a guy who comes from Clemson, led the Clemson defense at middle linebacker, and someone who just led them on the field with his play. The big concern is his size, right? Just a little bit undersized. But he's going to make plays. And I think for somebody, especially with the Seahawks, they always like someone who's hungry and plays with speed and plays just to love the game. And I think he's one of those guys that fit right into the locker room and fit with the Seahawks late in the draft.
Yeah, I think so too. It's hard to teach somebody how to be a champion, and it's hard to argue that Ben Boulware is not a champion. He's a guy that his team has been there twice. And it's been a lot because of him. I don't want to say everything has been because of one particular place. Deshaun Watson, there's Mike Williams. There's a lot of good guys on that team, but his dog mentality is really what's taken them to the next level. It's he ruffles a lot of feathers. There's a lot of chippiness between him and receivers and running backs, but he's a guy that when things are going down on the field, and as a fan, you can see things like that brewing on the field, and he just comes to play and meets the expectations whenever there's jawing on the field and the camera's on him. He usually comes up with a big play on 3rd or 4th down, and that's just what you need on your team. It's statistically he's not the greatest player, but when it comes down to it, when you need a big stop or big play and things are going his way, then that's definitely what I want on my team. And so I like Ben Boulware, especially if at 7th round, I think you said was his projection. I would definitely take somebody that's a champion, somebody that's proven against the top talent in the college right now. So, I think how could you miss with a guy like Ben Boulware?
Yeah, and especially with Brock Coyle being out with the Seahawks needing a new backup to Bobby Wagner, I think you would fit that role perfectly.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that just about does it for our linebackers.
That's it, yeah.
That's it. So if you'd like to comment, do so below. Let us know some other players at the linebacker position that you think would be good fit for the Seahawks or anything else. Any comments you got on the show, let us know. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff.
All love it.
Love. Send our way to you. Peace.
Peace.